Hello, hello, hello. What ho? Welcome back to another exciting adventure of The Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley. So I have so much content to go through. It's not even hilariously funny. Although it is hilariously funny because I have so much content. Like, I was just watching through stuff and I'm just like, I have so much that I haven't even gone back. You guys have no idea. You guys have no idea how hard it is to dedicate your life to this cause. Alright. So, let's see how this goes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, right? What? What? No, cancel. Okay. This. What the crack, man? There we go. Get that out of here. Okay. Alright. This is the footage. Let me get... You guys don't need to see me. Alright. Alright, so what I'm going to do is be looking through stuff right now, and I'm going to play this. I can't hear it, so I don't know if it's like louder than me or not. And I don't know why it's not. Let me change this property. I don't know why I can't hear it right now. Power off. See, I can hear it on my computer. See, I can hear it on my computer right now. That is really weird. I don't know why is that not working? Whatever. So now I'm going to put it through the hard line. Okay, so I can hear it through the hard line. Alright, whatever. Okay, so here we go. We're going to look through this. Just going to go through shenanigans. Get this out of here. So one of the things is I don't see what's going on in the chat right now, so I have no idea if anybody's talking. That is just weird. I thought I turned this off. What? So what's interesting about this is that what is in the center of the frame right now, that little white apparition that builds and diminishes, that's a sailboat that's right there in that area, and we can't see it because of the activity that's in the air. And this is a very severe mirage because we can't even distinguish that object. So the object in the foreground is a boat. Clearly we can see the boat, and clearly the boat is in a mirage. And the distanter white smudge that's there is another boat that's far enough away to where it's in the event and you can't even make out what it is. And what I'll do is just see if anything comes up. So like this is in real time, so I'm trying to give you an idea, right, as to how extensive this is. This is a few days ago, and I'm just going over it now. Earlier today, all day today, I was going over stuff from June. Looking at stuff in June that I haven't even looked back over. It's crazy. If you don't understand what you're seeing right now, you don't belong in this conversation. This boat on the right was just offshore yesterday, about, I don't know, 100 meters? Is that? Yeah, 100 meters. The big blue and white whale. turned a corner, man. That was like ugly. Are you freaking kidding me? So this boat on the right is going to be passing behind the land on the left. And right there in the middle of the frame is where the fault line is where reality is behind the mirage. I'm going to wait to see if this boat comes out. Oops. So when you have the entire inverted image visible like you do right now, because there's space between the white and the water, then that means that the entire sail of that sailboat is inverted. So cut that image in half. That is where the hull is, right in front of you. So I'm backing out at what I can see with my naked eye. So that's roughly 3 miles away. It's like right on the border of what would be considered the horizon, and yet there's water that goes beyond that boat. It's not like right there. It's not like right here is where the water curves away and then it starts to go down the other side. This water continues to go beyond this sailboat into the distance, but we can't see it because the refraction is creating a mirage. But this boat is right on the edge of the earth. If this were a physical mountain or a physical hill with this boat on it, this boat would be sliding down the other side. No, you wouldn't stop it. You couldn't stop it. Okay, people out there, it says that there are 3 Smurfs watching, so could somebody say hello? Because if I'm one of those Smurfs, then there's 2 others that are watching. Out there, it says that there are 3 Smurfs watching, so... Alright. I expect to see a Smurf make a comment in the next couple 10 seconds. Here is a Fata Morgana event right here. And I'm gonna have to watch this, right? It's like, whatever. Let's see, now I can't hear the in my headphones.
You gonna come home with me? Yes? Oh, she's coming home with me. I think we would get along just fine. She's got a super personality. Oh, she's an Aries. They had the same area. No, they both said. And the downward there, right? Oh, like that, really? Wow. You can't take them all. Because they belong to the water.
so I just realized that stupid microphone was off. So I was totally ripping on some shenanigans. And then I saw Effie Nation made a comment, so I'm just going to go back. I don't know what he was talking about, if he was talking about this or this. So, okay. Okay, so, what I said was, there we go. What I said was, this image right here is a disruption in the mirage. Okay, this should not be here. You should not be seeing this light blue little space right here, which is farther water in the distance from here. Okay, just like, okay, so we got this water, this water, this water. We got a break here, clear break right there. And then you got that thin little wisp right there. And then you got that blue, right? So here's the ceiling, focal point. Here's the floor. Back the other way. Here's the floor, focal point. Here's the ceiling. This is the horizon right here. So if you could take away all of this land and just make it sky, then you would just have this crazy washed out, like what we see the sail here, we see the sail, and then this like this weird inversion, and then what's happening right here in the middle? You know what I mean? Like, they don't know what to fucking do with themselves. Like, here's the top of the sail. It comes down right here. Here in this degree is the hull of the sailboat right here, but you can't see it because of the refraction phenomenon. That's right there. Okay, whatever. It's not what I said before, but it's what I said right now. I'm just going to skip through 15 seconds at a time here. I can't scrub, or I can't set it on a higher playback speed. Right there in the middle here, when you see that washed out lighter blue, that is the fault line. That's the vanishing line. That is the focal point of the merging of the ceiling and the floor.
Where's there?
Just making sure my music's still on. Is my music still on? No. Alright, there you go. king weed for you. Look at that sailboat on the left. Oh, right there. There you go. I can't even see this stuff with your naked eye. Like, I don't even see it right now. It's in the viewfinder. I don't even know it's right there. You gotta be in it to win it for this episode right here. You know what I mean? Like, you are in this to watch. It's just... I think I should be doing this way. Should I be doing it this way? Sort it by type. Just go down to the videos. I don't even know what I was on right now. So I can control this a little bit more. I can go 8 times. So right here you have this really thin wisp of the sky mirage above the waterline. If you can ever see, and then that sailboat, look at that right there. That's like 3 miles away. So then from the sailboat to the far distant land behind it is another 6 miles. So from that position of the sailboat to the angle to wherever you want to place the fold line on the landscape in the background, 6 miles in that degree. You're welcome. so then that was that. Was that? Which one was that? This one? Alright, we got 9 minutes. Wait, did I just watch this one? So just watch that. Now there should be another boat that comes across the screen. I've seen this before, but yeah, it's right there. Okay, so I already just showed this one, I think. Fucking kidding me? I just clicked on the pointer. This is where the shoreline is, right there. How do I know? That's right where the boat is on the water, right there. Come on. Come on now. Did you just see what happened? I just got confirmation of my prediction. Because that's exactly where that boat went. That was freaking amazing. There, that's where all the magic happens. That's the Twilight Zone right there, man. What's going on? Red, mow it! If I said it right, hope I said that right. Welcome back. Thanks for stopping in and saying, what's up, y'all? Actually, he said, what's up, all. Just going over... I'm just sitting here watching videos all day long. So I go out and film. Can't really see what's going on the small viewfinder. So then I come back and I have to watch everything over again to see if there's anything interesting. So this is what I do for you. This is what I do for you. What have you done for me lately? Well, you know, right there, there it is. Look at that boat right there. Right there where the finger's pointing. Boom, that's the shoreline. That's because it is flat. My guy, that's because it is flat. I might speed this up a little bit. Alright, this is 4 times speed. In case you're joining the show late, the pointer finger there in the middle is where the shoreline is. This is 9 miles. 9 miles. This is where the hull of this sailboat is, right there. Boom. There it is, right there. I can't see it, Travis. Squint, bro. Squint. Oh, let's start it over. Okay. Alright, so then that was that. Here's this. Are you not entertained? Make a comment if you can hear the sultry sound of my voice right now. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'm just gonna stop it. Stop. I'm gonna go back. Like, look at these layers, right? No one else is doing this, right? No one else is doing this. These are aquabands. That's my term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 different tones all the way throughout here, right? Like, this is all perspective, distance, and compression, and foreshortening. Like, you have no idea what this space is. No idea what that space is. No smurfing idea what that space is. Don't let me forget that I have a meal in the oven. Okay. Do a timer for 30 minutes. Okay. There we go. What's going on, Tom Buddhas? What's up, Tom? Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. Which one was that? Are you kidding me? Which one was that? Uh, 22. That ain't right. What the crack, man? Come on, man. Do this one? I already did this one. I think I just did this one. Yeah. Okay. That's why this takes so long, bro. What's the scientific equation for how fast the ether is moving left to right? think she's not unattractive there, but she's not beautiful there, right? She's like a man. Wait a minute. Have I been... What? Alright, so... Man, have I been watching the wrong thing the whole stupid time? Is this supposed to be over here? just in case you're wondering, and if you're watching right now, the pointer finger is where the fold line or the vanishing line is. This is where the junction of the sky and the ceiling merge in apparent conjunction. So this is the horizon. Zoomed in, that you would not be able to see with your naked eye. Alright, what I'm going to do right now is switch over to some YouTube videos that I haven't watched yet. Turn that off. And I'm going to go to let's see. Oops. Oh well, whatever. What am I going to watch? Static in the Attics, guys, had some interesting why I think magnetic reversals are caused by external forces. Answer these questions and I'm your Huckleberry. Here's your big chance. Oh, wow. Let's look at Ian's Mirage video. Let's see what this has. Note pole A right here is the same distance from the wall as pole B. The wall is 90 degrees straight from my position way further. What? Note that pole A is the same distance from the wall. That doesn't make any sense at all. This looks closer. This looks farther away. How can they be the same distance? I don't get that. can't be right, man. Like, Ian, I'm calling you out, bro. Ian, come on, man. This... This pipe is clearly farther away than this pipe. How can you say they're the same distance? Oh, from the wall. Okay, from the wall. Okay, so this is the this is the side-on view of perspective, because this is what okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, there we go. I was looking at the opposite way. Yeah. Okay. I got. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Alright, there was some other thing here with static in the attic. Had some really interesting... Juan B. I don't know what he means by Juan B. Where are all of these? All right, this is not working. All right, where is static in the attic? They had like 2 or 3 videos that I was like, oh wow. Okay, hold on. So Rayleigh Criterion had a video out. I need to look at that. This one here. This is how diffraction can distort long-distance objects and make them disappear bottom up. See, the thing is that I wouldn't say that it disappears bottom up. It converges, right? Both the top and the bottom go... right there in the middle. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Moving camera. That's hilarious. Boom, 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 boom. Where did the car go? could hear the traffic from there. He's not that far away. It's crazy. I'm just gonna skip forward a little bit, see what's up. So I love it. Great. Good stuff. Gonna give a thumbs up. Comment. Comment. And then share. All right, so what am I going to do next? Go back here. Static in the attic. Static in the attic. All right, here we go. See what this is.
What's up, everybody? Before I do the next video I want to do, I'm going to address this that I get from a casual mention. Because anyone denying the earth is flat should not be trusted. It's a simple test. First off, I've spent years out west. I've done way more real world observations than anybody here, hands down. I can guarantee you that. Looking across the oceans, looking across mountaintops, knowing the elevations of the mountaintops and seeing if they're in a straight plane. I know about the Michelson-Morley experiment and that we've never proven that we're actually moving at all. Nobody has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are not stationary right now. I personally find it all but inconceivable that we're moving at 66,000 miles an hour, 10 times the speed of sound, and not experience any type of Doppler effect with all that motion. I also think that this is all a big circus at the taxpayer expense, probably one of the biggest financial grifts ever, and that they fake a lot of this stuff, pretty much all of this, the actual watching them float around. And I can go on. There's a lot of things that don't add up. But that doesn't mean that your model is correct. If it's simple, then you should be able to write out very simple questions to the three main things that I'm going to bring up here. Not, oh, but what about, no, these three things, that's it. I want you an answer to these three things. And then I'll be on your side 100%, I promise. I'm a very logical thinking, straightforward guy. I think everybody knows this by now. Answer these questions and I'm yours. I don't do graphics, so you'll have to just bear with me here. So on this model, this is the path of the sun in the summertime. This is what explains the seasons, is the sun is high overhead in North America in the summer. And then the sun works its way down to wintertime, being on a orbit that's around the much bigger orbit around the southern continents. So this is the sun in a North American winter, and this is the sun in a North American summer. Now, it takes 24 hours for the sun to go from 12 o'clock there, make one full rotation, and get back to that arrow. Then in the wintertime, it's a much larger diameter going around, but the sun still makes the trip all the way around in exactly 24 hours. So the sun would have to either speed up to make that larger diameter circle, or it would have to slow down to make the smaller diameter circle in the same amount of time. And this is just a mathematical fact that it takes longer to go around a larger diameter circle at the same speed. Now, I can actually make an argument for why this happens, but I'm going to let you guys, because you're the scholars here, that this is simple. I mean, you're obviously a shill if you don't believe this. Okay, the next problem is the retrograde motion of the planets. If you were to, say, snapshot Venus at exactly 11 o'clock p.m. every night, you would see it moving across the ecliptic in one direction, and then it would start going back, and then finally resume going the same direction it started. And it doesn't always do this, but at certain times the planets will go into a retrograde motion. The Ptolemaic model explains this with epicycles, where the planet is doing an orbit inside of the bigger orbit. But then you have the problem of why would it be doing that? I'm told there's a simple explanation that evidently I'm missing here. Then the last one, and this is the biggest one, the sun sets below the horizon. I spent 10 years watching the sunset on the beach. And before I get into this on how this works on an azimuthal equidistant, I watched every single FE video that was put out for 2 or 3 years. And the guy that was doing the shots of the ships was straight up lying to everybody. He claimed that a ship was over the horizon and that you could just zoom in and then there it was indefinitely. And I don't remember who made the video, but they were being completely dishonest, because when you have your camera at its widest field of focus, there's all kinds of stuff that you can see with the naked eye that the camera's not picking up, and then you zoom in and you see it. And I did this many times with binoculars, which, I can't prove what I've seen, so I'm not going there. But this was used to say that, to back up the claim that the sun just goes out of view, that it doesn't just duck under the horizon. It's going so far away from you that you can't see it. And that doesn't work. This is what that would actually look like. This is my phone on a table in the middle of the room, and the sun going further and further away on a flat plane. I'm walking exactly level with the camera, and it's just getting smaller and smaller. Here it is side by side with a real sunset. If the world is a level flat plate, then it should never duck below the horizon. It just gets smaller and smaller the further away it gets. Now, this is what happens if I take the sun and I stay the same distance away from the camera and drop down slowly. So, hey, look, I actually am an open-minded guy to anything that has solid evidence to make me think that it's true. I've watched the taillights of cars in the mountains get so far away that they do just fade out of sight, but that is not what's happening when I watch a sunset. This is what you would see if it's just getting so far away that you can't see it anymore. This is just simple physics. It gets smaller and smaller. And then this is what you would see at sunrise every morning. You see a little dot of the sun. It would never drop below the plane of the plate that we're on if it's flat. So there you go. It's real simple. This is your chance to just type out a simple answer of the questions that I asked, and I'll be on your team. But if you can't answer that, then I'm going to use your logic and just say that you're wrong about everything that you've ever said because you couldn't answer this simple question. That just reeks of brilliant logic. Static out.
All right, so that was that by Static.
Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host, Paul, and this video will break.
so in that one, top 3 problems with the flat Earth model, I didn't like whatever. I was like, whatever. Answer these problems and I'm your Huckleberry. Okay, whatever. I don't get it. I didn't get anything significant out of that.
What's up, everybody? I got brand new tires on my bike yesterday, and then it rained for about an hour last night, so I'm waiting on the track to dry out. So I'm just going to be grumpy and disagree with everybody on the internet. Just kidding. I'm not grumpy. I tend to make videos about things I disagree on, but people get mad if it's anything other than the official narrative. But people get big mad if I don't agree with this particular topic, so I put this video out first. If you want to discuss the merits of this theory, then go over there and answer any of my 3 questions. If you can't follow simple directions and talk down to me like I'm an idiot in this video for not going along with your theory, then I am going to block you from this channel. Fair enough? That's because I can't have any conversation without it turning into a shape of the earth conversation in the comments because of you. Now, for everybody else that's not still stuck in 2018 YouTube world, I'll leave this documentary down in the links. This is a great documentary made back in like the 70s, back when they made documentaries directed towards intelligent thinking adults and treated you as such and explained step by step how they came to these rational conclusions. And I think I'm going to direct this question to suspicious observers, not because I disagree with him and I'm trying to throw a monkey wrench in his plans and act like I'm smarter than him. It's because he's the most intelligent, well-versed person on this subject on YouTube. And if Ben actually does watch this and give an answer, that'd be awesome. I've followed your work ever since TED Talks, and hey, it's spot on just about all of it that I can see except for this one thing. And there may be a simple answer to this that I don't know. But he refers to the geomagnetic reversals and the magnetic excursions as 6,000 and 12,000 year cycles. And my question is, why do we think that geomagnetic reversals are part of an internal process of either the Earth or the Sun, as opposed to it being acted upon from outside sources? So in this documentary, they show this chart of past magnetic reversals, which I'll explain a little bit more here in a minute, but you see that according to their timeline, it was facing north for, 0.6 of the first million years, and then it flipped south for 100, 200,000, and then it flipped north again for 100,000. And by the way, I don't agree with their timeline at all, but I do believe that proportionately what this shows is that it was pointing north for a long time compared to the south, and then north again for an even shorter period, and then flipped south. And going further down the chart, you see that these are not evenly spaced in any way, shape, or form. So why should I think that this is a regular 6,000 year cycle after looking at this evidence? Now, I refer to these as cycles too, just because it's quicker and easier to say than repeated occurrences, but this does go directly against any set 6,000 and 12,000 year cycle. According to this, it shifts pretty randomly and for random lengths of time. So possibly during one of Ben's live chats, if a bunch of us ask this in the chats for him to check out this video, then perhaps we'll get an answer. And like I said, this isn't me trying to prove him wrong or anything or try to look smart on my end. It's just I am curious why he thinks that there is a set 6,000 to 12,000 year cycle. And now I will explain why I think that this is caused by external influences. Real quick, for anyone not familiar with this research and why we think that there's magnetic reversals, we get this information from studying volcanoes, and this is the old 70s documentary. Can you guys imagine living with this video quality today? This is what we had when I was a kid, and it was usually coming through staticky at that. So what happens as the volcano erupts? It layers up, and ferrous metals in there will be drawn towards the magnetic pull of the Earth. So in some layers, it will be facing towards today's North Pole, and then you go down a couple more layers and it'll be facing the opposite way. You can think of these tiny particles like the magnetic needle of a compass suspended on top of a liquid so it floats freely, and the magnetic pull of the Earth directs it to the North Pole. And that's what you see in the first two layers of this diagram, but then it shifts and it's facing the opposite direction. And to learn this, we core drill down into rocks and then test the varying layers to see which direction it's pointing. Pretty simple. And honestly, I get tired of the keyboard commando Einsteins that think they're smarter than every scientist out there, and they've never even looked into it. You guys should watch this documentary and learn something. In this scene, he's standing on a beach in England, and he's explaining how the silt deposits here that have turned into sandstone were all blown in from left to right, which means that that was the prevailing wind direction of that time. But now the prevailing wind direction is coming directly from us straight into that face. So the orientation of things have changed dramatically since this rock was deposited. And for those of you that have grown up in the digital age, this is the way we used to do things, was they'd just build models. And I'll argue all day that people were smarter 50 years ago than today on average, because you actually used your brain every day instead of just seeing what Google said about it. But at the center of this model, they've got a magnet in there attached to an armature so that they can rotate it back and forth. And then all along the outside, they've got magnetic needles in each of these little round spots so that when you rotate the magnet back and forth, you can compare the data from the core samples to the direction that the needles are pointing on the model. And then on a different model, you can see that all of the rocks in South America point to one point at number 1, 1 point at number 2, and the outer shell of that is a transparent sheath that rotates over the inner ball that has the data from Africa showing point 1 and point 2, and when you rotate them together, points 1 through 4 line up perfect from South Africa to the core samples in Africa, and then you see a divergence at point 5. So point 5 is pretty inconclusive, where the other 4 points, that's probably where a pole was at one time or another. Nowadays we have computer models with a lot more variables put into it, which are hopefully more accurate, but the fact is they were able to sit down and work all of this out. Way back in the 70s, they realized that there were magnetic reversals that happen. Now, here are my top 2 reasons why I think that these are caused by outside influences rather than any internal mechanism. This video by the Action Lab just accidentally perfectly modeled what I had in my mind. And it's kind of unfortunate. He's a big-time science guy, and he doesn't realize what he just showed here, because this isn't really part of the mainstream science curriculum. So he's got a Movi globe, which is a globe inside of a translucent ball, and it's floating in liquid so that there's zero friction. Inside of there is a magnet that always stays in line with magnetic north for reference, and then it's got a motor that works off of that to spin the globe inside of there. That was a neodymium magnet he just pointed to. Now watch what happens to Earth when acted upon by an external magnetic force. You see that wobbling right there? I don't have the scientific vocabulary to eloquently explain this other than to say that a magnetic force from an external source throws everything out of whack and causes a magnetic reversal. You see how it's all wobbling? This is exactly what I've had pictured in my mind for a few years, is if you have a comet coming through, assumedly that it's iron, something that produces a magnetic field comes in, disrupts the harmony and balance of Earth, and causes it to flip off of its axis. Now, in this demonstration, we have gravity pulling the whole globe down, but if we are floating in space right now, then that force doesn't exist. So that little bit of turbulence getting it to twist that 5-10 degrees right there, if it didn't have the gravitational force of Earth, then that inertia could carry on and cause the whole planet to flip completely. Makes sense to me, but I'm just a dummy that swings a hammer. The other reason I think this is the case is because that's what all of the ancient mythologies describe. And I'll just use the Greek Phaethon as one example here. Most of you have probably heard this myth, but he was the son of Helios, which in the ancient Latin actually meant Saturn and not Sol, the sun. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Phaethon begged Helios to be able to drive the chariot that pulls the sun across the sky, and he lost control of the horses, and he drew the sun down too close to the earth and set it ablaze. The Mayan mythology concurs with this, saying that we are presently in the age of the fifth sun. The third sun got mad and in a fit of rage came down and scorched the earth, just like the story of Phaethon. Then the age of the fourth sun ended in a great flood, so it lines up perfectly between the Greek and Mayans. The last two world ages were ended by fire and then water in that order. Back to the Greeks, the plains of Africa were scorched to a desert and the men charred black. Zeus, appalled by the destruction, smote the boy with a thunderbolt, hurling his flaming body into the waters of the river Eridanos. The name Phaethon means the shining or radiant one. So to me, this pretty clearly explains that some heavenly body, a star or a sun or a comet, fell to earth and scorched the earth. Now, this could be considered a solar flare, but Helios, the charioteer that normally pulls the sun, didn't cause this. His son did. Something else did. And then Zeus smote the boy with a cosmic thunderbolt. So the way I see this is when you have planetary bodies all carrying electrical charges, which right now and all through our current history are in cosmic balance and alignment. But if anything interferes with that and throws them out of that balance, then just like an electrical arc can jump a gap between two wires on a planetary scale, then Birkeland currents form and you have an electrical plasma discharge between the two bodies. And this is where we get the myth of Zeus's cosmic thunderbolt. So these are the reasons that I think magnetic reversals are not an internal process and are brought about by external influences. I might be wrong, but it makes sense to me until I hear otherwise. And as soon as I saw this demonstration, I said, boom, there's your magnetic reversal. But hey, what do I know? I'm just hoping the roads are dry. Static out.
All right. Well, whatever. I think I'm going to end it right now because I'm a little bit distracted and I can't get back on track. So, thanks so much for tuning in. And, yeah, well, whatever. It is what it is. I've been your host, Travis Finley. This is